Chico. Chico, sit. I trained Chico to lick the enemy to death.
Nice.
So where you from?
New York?
I am, me too. But you're not a Yankees fan though, right?
Born and bred.
Oh, come on. Dagger to my heart, really? Well, I guess we'll never speak again, Megan.
Is there a way out?
Sometimes they say art is not what you put in, but what you leave out. And this is a big canvas. You've got a war, you've got a character study, you've got a humanitarian thing going on. Talk about what you decided that you just didn't want to get into to keep the focus, the tone, and the pacing going.
That's a great question. There were times, I think, when we were in production that I did feel, wow, once we hit where we filmed, the Ramadi sequence, I thought, like, you can sort of collapse under the weight of the responsibility of that. Here you are telling this story is not about the war, but it's couched in the war. And how do you do that responsibly? So what I had to kind of focus on is that this is really in some ways, a simple story about a bond. And although it's entrenched in this world that has the darkest ramifications and important ramifications politically, if I focused on the characters and I focused on their story that I think is accessible, a story about loyalty and friendship, then it was a bit easier.
So you could take, say, the bubble of her character, Megan, and then we could see all of the canvas around her, but we keep following the bubble wherever it is. Now,
Right.
Your responsibility, of course, is to faithfully execute this vision. How emotionally involved did you get in the character?
There's a responsibility that comes with telling a true story, and a true story like this, there's definitely a weight sort of on your shoulders, and I think both Gabriela and I felt this, especially after meeting Megan.
I know, I've just met her.
Did you meet her outside? Yeah.
Lovely woman.
She's lovely, and we didn't want to let her down or let this story down. But at the end of the day, you have to just sort of focus on, you can only do your best, and so I think that we both sort of had to just really focus on, each day at a time. But I definitely got emotionally attached to this story, this dog that I worked with. It kind of happened, it felt like it happened out of nowhere, really. There was just this one day, I think we had been working maybe for 2 weeks, but he and I trained together for 3 weeks before we even started shooting. So at that point, I'd known him for about a month and really was trying to work on this bond. And one day we were shooting one of the war scenes, and there were, fake explosives going off, and I was a little bit nervous. And he was attached to my vest, and I was holding his leash, and right before a take, I could feel he just sort of looked over at me and licked my face, and we weren't very affectionate with each other the whole time because you have to be training.
You're two professionals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he could feel I was anxious, and I instantly thought, oh, now we are connected.
So he didn't just linger in his trailer with all of his aides around
Right,
him, but
he's
he
a
was
real
willing
diva,
to work with you. That is so good to hear. 'Cause
Yeah.
sometimes it goes to your head, when you get a big
Apparently, yeah.
part. You've heard about people like that. Thank you both.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Patrick Stoner.